Hello, this is the oak guy here. So something I wanted to try immediately out of the gate with the Cryptbloom armor is heading on to the God Wars Dungeon 2 bosses. But I really wanted to flex with this armor heavily. And what better flex than doing it without potions at all? So I walked in and just cast Smoke Cloud. The damage would be minimal, right? And the kill times were not great. But I have to say, it's hilarious that you can do this. I mean, really, the cost of runes, which seem expensive sometimes, but when you're using, let's say, some blood runes, let's say you use 3 blood runes per cast, just offhand. Yeah, you're looking at maybe 2,000 a cast here, and when you're using a two-handed mage weapon, that's not a whole lot of cost. The Smoke Cloud spell isn't very much either. Not very accessible to some people because you do have to do a quest for it as far as I know. But that's huge. Like, it's huge for mobile players too. That was something I really wanted to think about, was because like a lot of people are playing this at work or they just kind of have it sitting about, but what if they have to walk away from it? What if they have to, sit their iPad down and go check on the food they're cooking or something, which is literally the scenario I run into often. And can you live? Can you fight without potions? Let's say all your potions wear off. All you have is auto-retaliate, penance, which is not even that good of an aura. It just makes sure you don't have to worry about prayer. And Book of Wind, I guess, is another one I did. I did use Malevolence. I don't know if it's needed or not for Vindicta, really. I stayed pretty healthy for the vast majority of the fight, and you'll see it here, but yeah, Animate Dead, this setup, I'm really enjoying it. I'm enjoying that it opens the door to being able to have RuneScape on the background. I think a lot of people when they AFK think about skilling, but now combat is the thing. So, minute 52, not great time, we all know that, but that being said, pick up the loot and head on to the next one. I made sure to heal along the way so I could give myself the best start that I could, attack stuff, and just do it. But I wanted to do this all in one run so you guys could see you really don't need supplies. And these aren't easy bosses. Now, they're not, like, hard bosses, but they're not easy bosses to take down. And this is all it takes now. I did get some comments in the in the last one talking about if Jagex is going to nerf this or not. For those of you who don't know, Acto has existed for a very long time. It's tier 90 range, mage, and melee. It doesn't degrade to dust if you get the Acto. And it's just stupid OP. Is this better armor than Acto? Some places, yeah. Like Twin Furies, this armor's better. The melee reduction is absolutely insane. But at some place like Gregorovic, where you get 0 range reduction besides just regular armor stuff, and, Animate Dead obviously gives you that flat damage reduction. That's going to be one of your better ways to tank, is actually wearing Acto at Greg. But here, you can really notice a difference. Here, you can really go ahead and tank pretty much anything you want. It's not an issue. You don't have to worry about food. You don't have to worry about prayer potions or clicking or anything. I was kind of surprised here as well at the Twin Furies that I was able to hit a 1267 without even being overloaded. But apparently that's a thing. So yeah, makes it pretty easy to heal, and Twin Furies were definitely not an issue. I would say, out of my sampling, Vindicta and Twin Furies were definitely the two that I wasn't really concerned with. They didn't hold a lot of power behind them, and the vast majority of the attacks were melee. So, pretty much just a matter of time and getting tossed around, and you can finish that kill. But I'm loving this armor. I'm loving what it opens me up to. It suddenly feels far less stressful to walk into a boss encounter now, especially in Legacy, because everything's harder in Legacy. And I don't know, I just don't have that issue anymore. This is without a summoning familiar, too. So, yeah. Twin Furies down, onto the next one. Getting pretty good loot, too. Look at that grimy dwarf weed stacking up. But next is going to be Gregorovic. And let me be straight up. I hate this boss. I hate it so much. If you've ever played with game sounds on, you'll know it's the most annoying and maddening boss to sit through. It sounds like a fever dream after you just, like, drank 8 shots. It's not good. And he flies around a bunch. I was kind of hoping that the barrage spells would do a little bit better here, and he did okay. I was hoping that it would catch some of the spirits as they headed to Gregorovic. It didn't. I was hoping the Book of Wind would have a wide enough range that it could hit some of the shadows, and sometimes it did, but only when he really, like, overlapped on his shadows, and he hits big numbers here. But I'm assuming if you had actual potions, like an overload or an anti-poison, yeah, you'd be able to do this a lot less stressful. Because I got close on this one. I mean, the fact that I can do it is incredible. Like, I'm taking all this damage, you're probably thinking, there's no way. And then the 5th perk kicks in. I actually gained a fungal shield. I didn't keep track of exactly how much it reduced, but you'll be able to see it in a second. I was pretty impressed. It didn't make me feel better that I was going to finish this kill, because I was barely over halfway at this point thinking, oh, there's no way. But it was just enough, you know? It was just enough to survive, because I've got 5-6 shadows on me at this point. He's buffing up like crazy, throwing himself all over the place. Still not an issue. And I gotta say, this was the one fight out of all of them where, like, my hand was itching over the mouse, like, do I have to step in? Is this gonna be too much bullshit? But it wasn't. He was taken down. It was close. But the point is, you can do this AFK. Like, if you left your phone down to, you know, go check on something or whatever, you would probably survive, because you'd probably still be overloaded. But definitely a risky bet when we're talking about just regular. And also, I would recommend being bonfired as well, so that you have more HP to deal with that sort of thing. So, rinse and repeat, healed up on the way, used some of the sharks that I got from one of the earlier loots, and started making my way to Helwyr. Helwyr made me nervous because of the mushrooms. And I was thinking, that adds up. And also the melee hit. I gotta keep Soul Split on. I'm using Earth spells, so I'm not healing with blood, and I don't have Vampirism on my aura. So, is the bleed gonna be enough? Maybe mushrooms plus the bleed? Now, I got pretty lucky with mushrooms, to say the least. But I don't think they would, I don't think they really would be that bad. Once I throw the smoke cloud and I can hit a little bit harder, but you can see that 5 that grazed me there. It doesn't seem like something that's going to take me out. What cracks me up the most is you can see those 1s hitting me. That's the bleed. That's it. That's all there is to it. You can see how we're hitting me now. See the 0, and then you see these little, look at that 5. Ooh. Like, it's crazy to me. You know, Helwyr's always been a pain in the ass for as long as I can remember because of the mushrooms. And it's like, now it's like, oh, give me penance refill. Give me more prayer. And, yeah, I'm just really digging tank armor, honestly. I think Legacy was made for this kind of armor. I know it wasn't, but it feels like it. Wherever you take it, you just feel like an unstoppable tank. You can forget things, you can not bring food, you can try challenges, and nothing seems to stand in your way. Bleeds do literally 5 damage with a 5 stack. It's just crazy. But one thing I really underestimated at Helwyr was the fact that Helwyr uses melee for pretty much every attack. So, not really a concern there. I can't remember what the exact melee soak is on this armor, but it's pretty high up there. So protect from melee really isn't even necessary, but I can imagine if you had Vampirism Aura and Pro Melee on and doing that instead, you'd probably not have to worry about a single thing. Because even the big hit would only hit like 500. But yeah, that was it. In one run, I made it start to finish. And got some pretty decent loot too. Only took me about 13 minutes and I made a mill. Is it great? No. But it's one of the best things I've ever tried, and I hope you use it too.